We have this youth program. It's a program with the Hispanic Center. It's under one name called the Honoring Our Youth, the OA program. And part of what we do is an after-school program. We call it academic development sessions, which has everything from tutoring. We have college students who come in to help with that. We have a web-based curriculum called Key Train, which deals with basic skills remediation, mostly in math and reading. And then we do some work or study skills kind of workshops. So there's a number of things that happen during these academic development sessions. It's about the first part of January that myself and Emily Aliman, she's the director of the Hispanic Center of Western Michigan, met with George Waite over at the Tassel Tech. And in our conversation, George mentioned having additional computers through the community college, but over at the Tassel Tech. So I kind of stored that thought and came back to it a couple of weeks later and asked George. It actually took me several weeks to get back to George. Asked him about the possibility of getting some computers, or our desire was to perhaps set up a computer lab over here. And Moss was more than gracious and willing to follow up on this. And George said that the community college could lend us computers that we didn't have. We had a few computers lying around that were kind of obsolete, but they would offer us those computers that he first talked about when we met back in January. And but then the class would come in and offer all the support needed to install the software, configure the computers, get this up and running, and then maintain it. And I think that's one of the most critical pieces. It's not like, they're just going to hand over the key and they're walking away from this project. This particular job training program will continue to maintain this computer lab.
We're installing a 10-computer network for Steepletown. We're at 761 Davis Avenue, and we've spent the last month or so installing all the appropriate software to make sure that these machines will connect to the network that's already existing here. If you take a look at some of these machines here, they have these antennas on top of them. They are wireless, and that's to meet the needs of Steepletown. As different organizations within Steepletown grow and change, they need to be able to move these machines from room to room, and so they're able to do that with this setup. We've also worked very hard to make sure that they're exploit-free or nearly exploit-free, so they have all the latest virus definitions. They take place on a regular basis. We're going to update all of the Windows patches and installs for that today before we leave. But essentially to create the best user experience, the most reliable user experience we can for Steepletown's clients. I think it's been absolutely fantastic to be able to work together toward one goal for a great cause and we have run into issue after issue after issue with software, with hardware. We've had to deal with system constraints as far as not having enough memory for the computers. We've had software conflicts. We've had issues with downloads, installing, configuring, and it has really drilled a lot of the concepts we cover in class. We've really built a great foundation for students so that they have that to take on to their next job.
Yeah, that's great, and it's something, again, that we're going to be able to apply what we've learned in class, but we're able to bring it, for a nonprofit organization.
So it's a great service for our community, for the youth primarily, but we do some other work here as well in the neighborhood, and it's a great, hands-on application of the information, the training the kids are getting, the students at the Tassel Tech.